Hi, my name is Jimmy. I'm here at Joe Zummo's house, and we're going to make a longbow out of hickory wood today. Just a little bit about me. I've been doing archery for about almost 2 years now, and just love it. And now a couple of my good friends at Peconic have started to make self bows, and that's what I'm going to do today with Joe.
Right. We met early on, and we even Jimmy got to the point now where he's helping coach kids, and we have again this year, right? They're supposed to
Yeah, we're going
come.
to be starting again this year again.
Yeah, with the 4-H kids,
4-H
and
kids.
Jimmy's been assistant coach helping there. He's doing really good, leaps and bounds, and we're going to get him certified. He's going to be a coach because Jimmy's
Yeah, I'd love to do that. Yep.
yeah, because Jimmy's really good. What we're going to do is we're going to put this down. We're going to stop it here, and we're going to check his draw length. Okay, we're going to check Jimmy's draw length, and I'm comfortable with him pulling back, aiming into my garage. You know, we shot together, and once he gets it back, I'm going to use a marker and mark the front of his riser with this arrow, because a lot of people think they know the draw length, but they really don't. So he's going to come back, he's going to settle in, just like he's shooting. And I trust him not to let go, you know. So he's going to settle in, touch his anchor, and say, I'm good. And then I'm standing on this side, okay, away from the cutout where it's safe. The arrow isn't going to come off. I'm standing on this side. I'm going to mark it. We're going to measure the arrow to get his actual draw length. And then we're going to determine from this his bow size that we're going to make. So go ahead, whenever you feel comfortable, touch anchor, and then you tell me.
Thank you, Joe.
You tell me
Here we go.
when you're settled in there. Is that it?
I'm settled right there.
Okay, let it down. Now Jimmy's got a long draw length. He comes back and he touches on his face. So we got this here. You see the mark? I don't know if you can see it or not. It's kind of dark, but let's see what we got here. We're going to measure from the throat of the nock. That's the cutout, okay? Here's the cutout.
Throat right there.
And we're going to raise it up a little bit. And we're going to go to that mark. And believe it or not, Jimmy, it says 26 3/4. So like a 27-inch draw. All right, which we thought you had like a 30-inch draw, right?
I thought so too, yeah.
So we're going to pull this back, and you're going to touch one more time, and we're going to just see if this comes back to it.
All right, that could be.
So go ahead.
Pulling back for the first time today.
Yeah. So just early. Relax. I tell everybody when you before you shoot, you breathe in, shoulders up, breathe out, shoulders down. You got your stance, draw back, and touch your anchor. Settle in, and we're going to check it again.
Okay. Nice and comfortable. Yeah, that's what I would be at right about there.
Okay. Okay. That's more like it.
Yeah.
That's a little longer. Okay. Let's do it one more time.
Yeah.
We're going to do third time is a charm. So let's see.
It's the early in the
Relax.
morning. Yeah.
Draw back, just like you're going to shoot that 10 ring. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's comfortable right
there. Okay. Let down. Okay. I knew that was a little short. So now we got it twice.
Yeah.
Hit the same spot. Okay. Now, believe it or not, some people don't have a real consistent anchor. So their anchor will change, especially when you're high up here on your cheek. It can move a little bit, okay? Slightest little thing in your body or whatever could change it. So we're going to go here.
Right there.
And it's 28, okay?
Yeah, it's more like it.
Quite a difference, all right? 28. So
yeah.
That's where we're going to go for, like 28. Since you're not going to hunt with this, or you don't know?
I don't know yet.
Don't know yet. Okay. So why don't we go? Why don't we shoot for like a 45-pound bow?
Okay. Yeah, that's what I use.
Okay. So what we determined is draw length is 28. So we double it. 28 and 28 is 56.
56.
And then we're going to add 8.5 for a riser, a handle, 8.5.
64.5.
64.5, and then we add 2 inches. 66.5. And it's okay to go a little longer, a little safer. So maybe we'll make a 67 or a 68-inch bow, okay? So what we're going to do is we have on the end here, you can see a grain twist.
Yes.
Okay, and we're going to see what we're going to figure out where we're going to run the bow, what we're going to cut off. Okay, so this is about it. So the limbs taper down here. We have a knot here. We're going to sneak it right around. It'll be fine. And then put a mark down there.
Got it.
Okay. And from there to there, we got a 67-inch mark, a 67-inch bow. So because the limbs taper, we don't have to worry about these knocks. And the limb will be tapered down the end here too. We don't have to worry about this really drastic curve because we're cutting it off. Okay. So once we cut this off, we're going to lay it out, and then he's going to get working on the draw knife.
All right. So we kind of laid the framework of the bow out. We found our center. By finding the center, we were looking at the grain. We kind of determined what was the better end of the wood that wasn't too curvy. So again, we found the center. We are going to make the width of it
an inch and a half.
An inch and a half
right.
wide, and then we're tapering it down at
from
the ends,
12 inches down.
12 inches down from there.
Okay, so what we did is we drew the center line, marked the center line, we snapped the chalk line. Right. Jimmy marked 3/4 out on each side for an inch and a half limb. And we're gonna mark the taper. We marked the taper on this side. We're gonna mark the taper on this side. This part here is getting cut off. So what we're going to do is next, we're going to show you cutting this off, and we'll have our stave, and we're going to lay it out, and Jimmy's going to start using the draw knife to take it down. Okay, I explained to Jimmy where we're going to cut. He's going to come up with the chainsaw right here against it, and then he's going to go down and cut the end, and he's going to leave some extra. We'd rather have extra than not enough. Okay, so go ahead. Pick it up.
Right on my,
yeah, there you go. Get it going. Get it going. There you go. Go down, straight down. Okay, perfect. Good. We're good. All right, now we're going to finish laying it out, and then he's going to get working on the draw knife.
All right. After a couple of attempts, we have the bow almost
laid out
to the correct
profile.
We had I don't know if you can see this, but there was a pretty big knot right here. And Joe and I had to kind of just, shift it over a few millimeters over just to kind of get that out of.
Yeah, we moved our center line over to eliminate the knot in the profile.
And pushed everything over. It took us a couple of attempts, but I think we got it right now.
Yeah, we try and get everything perfect. So now it's time for him to work hard with the draw knife. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
And we're going to watch the line, the taper on the line. He's going to go down. We have the bevel side down. And when you get close, we're going to be careful. Right? The ends, we got a lot to take off, so we don't have to worry about too much. You're doing good. You're going to have a good sleep tonight. Looking good. It's coming down. It's a lot of work, right?
Yeah. Just trying to get a good
yeah, explain to him you hold the blade on the angle to take it down, and then what you do is you go on the angle the other way and then take the top off. He's going to try and get down to the profile and then try to straighten it out. But we're only going to go 5/8 down. It's a shame he's got to remove so much wood, but it is what it is. Okay, you're getting down to the line, yep. Careful, yep. Okay, just go slower and precise. And this side, it don't take much to get close to the line. We can leave it, we'll sand some if it's Okay, you leave the line. Slow it down. There you go. Good. Good. Okay. Okay, we put a shim to straighten it out, and he's almost at that profile there. Look at him go.
All right, so moving along here. So we did a rough profile, drawing out again, and then shaving everything down to our lines
On the back of the bow.
Back part of it. And again, we started measuring again. We were kind of setting out our profile of where the grip, my hands will be gripping the bow.
And the 5/8 thickness of the limbs.
And the limbs are already pretty much drawn out to where we're going to cut it down to here.
And we're going to do now is you're going to take the handsaw and cut relief cuts.
All right, the relief cuts like Joe was just saying, we're going to saw down, and then we're just going to cut right across and just let the wood fall right off and just start sanding from there. Okay. Attention to the side here. Okay.
When we get close, really slow down. Okay. Slow down. Okay.
More.
A little bit more. Just go slow and look at it every time. Okay, you see we're holding on an angle so we don't cut into the other side, right? So that's close enough for now. All right, then we're going to go around, and you see the other side? You see, because we held an angle, it's away. We didn't cut into that 5/8. So now we're going to go around and hold it on an angle like this and finish it up, okay? Now go slow and keep it on the angle until we get down to the 5/8 line. Don't go past it.
All right, so we're moving along here. So we brought the bow down to a rough profile. As you can see, nice and thin. Here's where the grip will be. And now we're just going to bring it down to those lines that we drew out in the beginning by using a belt sander. And the bow is really starting to...
It's going to start to look like a bow. So we're going to take it down to the line, which is 5/8, make it perfect. And then if you look at the back of the bow, which is away from you, we have lines, and we're going to take it down to those lines. All right, we're going to try and we are going to make it perfect. All right? So, a lot of work on that belt sander. Be careful.
Okay, all right. A little bit more in here.
Yep. Hey, just look who showed up. You Diver.
Hi, everybody. I won't be doing this.
We're trying to get him to make a bow, but he's resistant. He's resistant, but I think he's going to wind up making one day.
No.
No? All right, tell him what you brought over. Tell him what you brought over for me from Cliff.
Blowfish from Cliff for Joe and for me.
Wow.
Not for Jimmy, because he says Jimmy don't eat fish.
So there you go. All right. And show him the bow, Jimmy. Show him what you got so far, sanding down.
Sanding it down. This is all nice and flat and down to our lines where we need to be.
Right.
Both sides.
He was using it. He really was. He worked himself.
Yeah, I tried with, got most of it down. And then
so now what we're doing, the belly of the bow faces your belly, and the back is that back part here. So he's retracing the lines on the back, making them darker so he could sand them down. Because he got it rough.
Yep.
Yeah. So, coming along, doing good.
And you got to take this down too, right?
Not yet.
No, we're going to leave the hump alone. Yeah. We got it down, and we're going to heat it to the jig, and then we're going to fire harden it in a couple of days.
We set up those new targets on Thursday night. So we're moving along here. So now what we're doing is we're kind of narrowing the ends of the
limb tapers. We're tapering the limbs.
Tapering them into about, the goal is to get them down to about a half an inch.
Or less.
Or less. And then just making sure everything is looking symmetrical, you know, the tempering in at the tips of the bows.
So what you do is flip it around, show them how you're sighting it down like you're looking down a shotgun barrel, and we're seeing what side sticks out more, and then you're taking it in.
Taking off on that side. That's
right.
That's sticking out a little
so bit. The idea is that when we lay it out, it's going to be perfect, right?
Exactly right.
Okay. So a line would go from tip to tip through the handle, basically.
That's how we're doing it.
Okay. All right. You're doing good, Jimmy. Look at it. Right? Looks good. Looking like a bow, man. You're doing good. This is a challenging one from the Learn On. It has a big twist, and we're doing our best. We're going to heat it up and clamp it down. Use the draw knife for most of it. A lot of work. And you can see how twisted this limb is. Okay, that we're going to get the twist around after he heats it. Okay, takes a lot of time, but it's coming along, right, Jimmy?
It's coming along. Straightening her out.
Look at that twisted end. Look at that twisted end. It's pretty straight now.
Yes.
Okay. So many bumps and twists. We got to make sure we take our time tillering it.
Starting to really look like a bow. Now we're get that nice curve in there now. And
right. It was really twisted. You use the draw knife. We had a little spot where it's a little low. We had to take some more material off, make it a little less than 5/8. But that's why that 5/8 rule is a good thing. You have a little more meat to work with. And we had to use a heat gun to get it down and straighten it out. It was so twisted. And then what we're going to do is what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in the house. Tomorrow he's going to come over and we're going to fire harden it. But I'm also going to wipe this down with a rag just to put a little moisture in it tonight.
Yes.
And then put it on the counter, and that'll be the end of it until he comes over and we cook it.
Sounds good.
So you did a good job,
Sounds
man.
Like a plan,
did you like it?
Oh, it was great. What a day.
A lot of hard work, right?
Thank you so much, Joe.
Anytime.
Very good.
So this is the next day. We're fire hardening his bow that we put on his back set jig, and we used a heat gun to straighten out the twist. And in doing so, whenever you put on a heat gun onto this to get it to bend and conform, it takes the moisture out. It don't cook it like fire hardening, but it does take the moisture out. It was 0. Everything was tested 0 yesterday when I went in the house with this. So the thing I haven't been doing when I was fire hardening or heat treating is you get a wet rag and wipe the whole bow down so it's wet. And about an hour and a half later, most of it, there was still a couple of spots that was 0, and on that, 0 is less than 5% or less, 0. So I hit it one more time with the rag and left it alone overnight. So now here we are the next day. Jimmy, see what kind of reading we get.
All right, so right at the center, we're reading about a 10.
That's all. Then check the limbs.
And the limbs. About 9 there.
9 there, okay.
And on the other side.
8.9. About 9, right?
Yeah, about 9.
Okay. So that was the thing that we didn't do. I didn't do last time I made that hop hornbeam bow, and I'm going to put in a picture where it exploded, and you could see the like dust and splinters. Okay, because what I did was I heat treated it with a heat gun to get it to conform and take out a twist, and then the next morning I checked it with the meter. The limbs were still 0, but I said, oh well, it's been like 18 hours or whatever, and I heat treated it. And then when I went to tiller it, there were 2 things why it broke. And I could clearly see after talking to Keith Shannon. One was because I didn't put no moisture in it. And the other, too, is when it started tillering it, I looked at the videos again, and I started tillering it, it wasn't tillered. It wasn't bending smoothly. It wasn't. I kind of rushed it. So at the after we fire harden this and comes for tillering day, tillering, shaping, and shooting day, what we're going to do is we're going to take our time tillering it, micro tillering it a little bit, and we're going to make sure we use the ruler from the fade out okay, the fade out, and we're going to make sure we get that nice bend. And we're going to go for perfect. We're not going to go for less than perfect. We're going to try for perfect, all right? We're going to take an imperfect thing, this twisted log, and try to get a perfect bend out of it while we're tillering it, okay? And then we're going to shoot it.
All right.
So we're going to light this baby up and get started with the fire hardening. Oh, you hear the geese? Geese are flying over the falls here.
Start wetting down these coals.
Okay, go ahead down. Okay, go ahead, ignite them. Okay, just go down the middle now. It'll catch eventually. Light the edge of the coal. There you go. Go down, light the edge of the coal. Believe me, it'll catch down the trough. Yeah. It might beat you out. Get the end. Okay, get away. Now we're going to leave it for like 10 minutes. Let it catch.
All right, that was easy.
Okay, so now that I have foil underneath this, right, and we're trying to get it to conform with the shape of the bow, we don't want to burn it, and the correct height is really about the heat. It's really about the heat, and these coals are catching pretty good now. So you see it's a little closer here, but I'm able, because I have that foil rolled up in the middle, I'm able to push it a little lower here. Okay, but the key is what Keith Shannon said is stick your hand underneath like this. 1, 2, 3. See, I pulled it away. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right underneath the limb, you know. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, so that's about it. He says, you know, if you could do that 3 count, 1, 2, 3. See, this needs a couple of coals here now, maybe. See, that's what we're trying to do. Regulate the coals. 1, 2, 3. It's a little better. Okay, so we got the height and the coals pretty good. The end's going to catch a little more over there. You hold it under. If you hold it under, let's say, and you go 1, 2, 3, and you could go 4, you have to put more coals there, all right? Because the idea is to get 1, 2, 3. All right, if you go 1, 2, and oh, I got to pull my hand out, then you got to knock some coals away from that area. It's too hot. But right underneath the limb, 1, 2, 3. That's about all I could take. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. See, I could go a little longer here, but the coals aren't fully caught. So we're going to let it go. They'll be caught soon. Well, start time is it's 10:20 now, so we'll give it a 10:15 start time, and we'll see how. We've got to let it go for a couple hours. We're going to check it every 10 minutes. So it's 10:40. It's been going for 25 minutes. All right, and I just want to show you over here. You see out of all the limbs, this is a little thin spot where we took a little too much material off, and we're going to fire harden it, and we got to watch when we come to the tillering stage that we're going to have to remove wood, because that's probably going to be a hinge. It's thicker on one side, thinner on the other side. There's a knot on the top, and I think we're going to have to take a lot of wood off to make it even, or else that might, we just got to watch. We got to make sure that don't create a hinge. I think we have to remove wood on both sides to prevent that from having a hinge, but we'll see. We're only going to flex it level and see what it looks like, and then maybe go down like he said, like Keith Shannon said, 2 inches, and then just spend our time there. Spend our time there until it's perfect, a nice subtle bend. So what we're going to do now is Jimmy's got these fireplace gloves, very important piece of equipment, and he's going to hang it up on top. He's going to pick this up, and we're going to hang it on the top, and then we're going to look at it. Okay, as we've been going, I've been looking underneath, and knocking the coals around. That's good. I've been knocking the coals around so we can see, you know, so I can get the heat even, so where you could go 1, 2, and 3, and then you got to pull your hand out. So now that the coals are white, I was able to do that a little more accurately. Starting from the riser, you can see we got a really nice dark brown here, okay? All right, and we need to get it in the fade outs, and this side is turning color, but it's not that dark brown, but we got time. We've only been doing this like 40 minutes or so, okay? So we're gonna put it back down and let it cook some more. Just wanted to show you the update and explain what we were doing. And if you notice the thin spot on the limb, just took a little too much material off, that's all, you know. We're learning.
We got a nice warm fire here, so we knocked down the coals again, and we added on, you know, small coals, laid them out, so we get a nice even heat underneath the limbs or the bow. And
we're going to check in another 10 minutes, right?
Check in 10 minutes.
Yeah. Okay, even though we've been watching a little bit, it's almost 5 after 11, and we're going to put it up so you can see how it's going. So pick it up, put it on that top, very high screws up top. There you go. Okay, starting from the fade out, we got a little heavier brown spot here. Okay, means we have to knock some of the coals that are a little higher there away. And going out to the end, got a nice brown color starting to go to the end. Now over here on the left side, okay, on the left side, we've got a nice light even color. Okay, so we're gonna have to let it go a little bit more, maybe put a few more coals under there, okay? Back down, we are gonna get that stick, Jimmy. So where we have that brown hot spot here, okay, we're knocking down some coals away from this section here, which is easy to do, okay? And we're gonna put a few more coals on the end of this one. We're gonna put a few more coals on the end of this, and a couple just to keep them going. But tighten the clamps, Jimmy. Just give them see if the clamps tighten at all. Are they turning?
Tiny bit.
Okay, grab the back and turn it. Grab the clamp, the back of the clamp with one hand. There you go, that's all. Nope, I just want you to do that with all of them. Use 2 hands. Good?
Yep.
How are they turning? They turn a quarter turn, a little less?
A little less.
Okay, now this is the second time. I already tightened the clamps once already, and this is the second time we're doing it. Okay, so they're nice and snug. And we're going to stop it here, but where it needs the coals, we're going to add a few more coals.
So Joe and I just added a few more coals, and kind of where it needed to be more heat, and a little more treatment of the wood, more at the ends. We basically added some more, and we'll probably wait about another 15 minutes, and we'll check on it again.
Right, now one spot which was really brown, we used the stick and we knocked some coals away, and we're not going to do the hand check yet until the coals catch. But you can see it's very hot here. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It's hot there already, but when you do go here, 1, 2, 3, 4, see, that's why we're letting the coals catch. So what we did was, you know, if you go to do that test where it was really hot here, 1, 2, 3, when you left just a few coals there, it's still hot. But there's no point in doing this test over here, 1, 2, 3, 4, you know, where it's lighter, because the coals have got to catch. So it's pointless to do the check there. But where it was hot, that 1, 2, 3, we knocked a lot of coals away and it's still hot enough. See, and over here, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and these got to catch down here. See, so when the M1s catch, we'll test it again. Check it in 10 minutes. As Jimmy and I are sitting here, look what happened to our tent. It lifted up like a parachute and blew off and landed over there. All right, let me see if anything's busted. Okay, it's 1:05. It's done. It's cooked. We're going to put it up and we'll show you. Put it up, Jimmy. So it's been going since, what do we say, like 10:15 or so?
That's about right.
Okay. We're going to stop it here. We're going to put it on the table, and we'll show you when it's on the table.
All right, we're all done.
Check out the nice dark color. Check out the brownie. All right. We got some in the fade outs, the best we can get in the fade outs. Yeah, look at that. You can see a little discoloration here. It's sap, some kind of sap that came out of this here. But we've got a nice browning going on. All right, and this was going from like 10:15, almost 3 hours. This is almost like a 3-hour cook. So, what I'm gonna do is, after Jimmy leaves and this is cool, I'm gonna take the clamps off and I'm gonna get the wet rag, and I'm gonna wet the whole bow down. You know, once it's off the jig, I'm gonna wet it and let it absorb some moisture. I'm gonna wait like an hour or so, give it one more wetness, and then I'm gonna put it inside. And whenever you get a day to get off, we're gonna take our time and we're gonna tiller this. It's going to be prepared to be here a while because we're going to do a real good slow job with tillering, okay?
Okay.
And then shooting. I don't know, shaping and shooting, but I don't know.
All right.
We're going to worry about the tillering. We'll worry about the shaping and shooting. We may have to do it in 2 days, okay? We'll see what happens.
All right.
All right. So, did you enjoy this so far?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Quite an experience, right?
It is a very good experience. You know, just a lot. There's a lot to it.
Yeah. Sitting here watching it cook, though, is kind of like watching paint dry. You got to be sure the bow don't go on fire. You got to put your hands underneath, check the temperature.
Right.
All right. So what we're going to do is clean up, and if you're still here, we'll unclamp it. You know, if it's cool enough, we'll unclamp it.
Okay. All right. Good.
We've seen this here, and what it is, because I cut the board and reshaped it, that's pine sap that came out. But it'll clean up. We'll sand it off. We'll clean it up. But the pine sap from the jig came off.
All right. So we let everything cool down and reset itself and removed all the clamps. And this is our bow and all the nice
browning.
Nice
browning
back here, and
got a little in the fade outs too. Not as much as we wanted, but we got it in the fade outs. And if we look, you can look at the back set, okay? And you see where we had there's a little hump here, and where was it thinner?
little imperfections there.
Little imperfections that make it look like it's thinner. All right, but all in all, we're going to take our time tillering it, and he's going to have a fine bow. All right, what I'm going to do is, before I put this in the house, I'm going to get a soaking wet rag and wipe it down. I'm going to leave it sit for a while and wipe it one more time, and then it's going in the house. And whenever you figure out your schedule, then we're going to do part 2. And we're going to take our time with the tillering. Like I said, plan on being here for the tillering, even if we have to do the shaping and shooting another day. Okay?
All right.
Because we want to get this perfect.
Right.
I want to make this the best tillering job I ever did. So there we go.
All right, Joe.
All right.
Sounds good.
All right, Jimmy.
And thank you
Good
again.
job.
Joe. Thank
Good
you.
job. All right. Well, he's still here. We're going to let Jimmy wipe down the bow nice and wet. It's nice. We got a nice wet rag. He's wiping it down. We're going to put some moisture in there. Okay, just like that. And I'm going to do that one more time before we put it away. And fire hardening will prevent a lot of moisture from going in. It'll only let so much moisture in. But we don't want it dry. We don't want it zero moisture. We want some moisture in there. It'll be like tillering a potato chip, and it'll bust apart. So we want that moisture. Okay, that's good. Just go down, get the end good, and then we're done. That's it. Okay, and then I'll do that one more time in a half hour or so, and it's going to sit in the house and acclimate to the moisture in the house. Good. Good looking bow, man. I can't wait to see you shoot this thing.
I can't wait to shoot it.
Yeah. So.
Can't wait.
All right. Now that's the end of the video. This is the end of the video. All right. So good job.
Thank you, Joey.
All right.